Today we're going to learn how to do a standard crocheted beanie, and you can make this in any size. I'm using regular worsted weight yarn with a K crochet hook, and I'm going to start with a magic circle. So I do that by putting the yarn over my hand with the loose end of the yarn at the top, pulling the yarn, wrapping the yarn around my finger all the way, and I need a little extra across my thumb. I'm wrapping it over my thumb and grabbing the tail with my other fingers so you can see. Now I'm going to insert my hook into the underneath this yarn right here at on my thumb, put the yarn over, I let it get too loose, and draw it through that loop, grab a hold of it with my thumb and my forefinger, and then I'm going to get my yarn in my working position again, and I'm going to chain one to secure that. And so I'm going to continue working on this loop here, this magic circle, by crocheting into the circle and also crocheting over this tail end. So I keep the tail right there, and I'm going to start this by doing another chain two more chains, and I'm going to do 12 double crochets into the circle. So here's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. Get some more yarn going here for the next round. Okay, so at the end of this round, we're going to pull this circle tight by pulling on the end of the yarn. I'm closing up that circle, pulling it nice and snug so we have a nice closed circle on top. And then I am going to join this circle by slip stitching into the very first stitch. So right under that stitch, I'm going to pull the yarn through and pull it through to close. So now we've joined our circle. We're going to chain 2, and I'm not counting that chain 2 as a stitch. So now I'm going to go back into that same stitch where I joined and do 2 double crochets. 1, 2, and then 2 double crochets in each stitch for a total of 24. 2, 1, 2, and we'll continue that on around till we get back to the beginning. Now I'm about to work the last 2 stitches into my last stitch. Last 2 double crochets. 1, 2, and now I'm going to do a slip stitch to join into the top of the first stitch. So now we have a nice round circle. For your third row, you're going to chain 2. Again, this is not counting as a stitch, it's just bringing me up so that I'm at the right level. And I am going to do 2 double crochets in that first stitch and 1 double crochet in the next. 2 in the next. Whoops. 1, 2, and 1 in the next. And you're going to repeat that pattern around 2 and 1 all the way around. And my trick for remembering what interval or number of stitches I need to do is I'm on row 3, so I'm doing in multiples of 3. I'm doing 2 and 1, which equals 3. 2, 1, 2, 1, for a total of 3. Well, but you're working that across 2 stitches, so you're increasing by 1 for each 2 stitches. So 2, 1, 2, and then 1 in the next stitch as 3. Round 3 is multiples of 3. So I'll continue that around till I get to the end. I'm almost to the end of this round. I've got my last 2 stitches, so I'm going to do 2 in the next stitch. 1, 2, and 1 in the last stitch. And then I will slip stitch in the top of the first stitch to join. So now we have 3 rows. 1, 2, 3. Now being that I'm using this size of a hook, I'm done increasing because I'm making this for my granddaughter, who is pretty small still. It's just not quite 3 months old. And so I'm going to stop increasing. If I was using a smaller hook, I might have to do 1 more row of increases. But basically you want this flat part to be about the size of the crown of the head. Not, you know, the exact crown, but, you know, the edges of the top of the head. And I feel like this is big enough, so I'm going to stop doing increase rounds. If I were to make this for an adult, my next round, my 4th round, would be in multiple of a 4, so I would be increasing in the first stitch. So I would do 2 double crochets in the first stitch and 1 in each of the next 2 stitches. So 2, 1, 1 for a total of 4. 2, 3, 4. And I continue that around. 2, 1, 1, 2, 1, 1, 2, 1, 1. So if you were making it for an adult, you'd probably have to do, with this size hook, at least 1 more round to make it big enough. Maybe 2. But again, using my multiple method of keeping track of which row I'm on for my increasing until I'm done increasing and have the hat the top of the size of the head, then it simply would be, for the next row, for row 5, I would do the increase 1, 2, and then single, you know, double crochets in each of the next 3 stitches for a total of 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, if that makes sense. But I'm stopping my increases now because I'm doing this for a child, and I'm going to just do chain 2 to bring my work up. I'm just going to do double crochet in each stitch around, and we'll do that for the whole round, and I'll meet you at the end. Okay, so now I'm about to work the last double crochet for this round into my last stitch and slip stitch to join in the top of the first stitch. And you can see that by not increasing, the hat has started to curl. So we have like a little mini bowl shape here. Okay, so what you are going to do next is chain 2 and double crochet all the way around to do another row. And we're going to do that for a couple more rows until the hat's as long as we want it. So I will meet you back here and we'll see how many rows I ended up with. So I'll meet you back when I get down to the end of the hat, and I'll tell you how many rows I did. Okay, I'm just about to finish up my last round. Do my last stitch, slip stitch through the first stitch, and I ended up with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 rows. This hat is approximately 7 inches across, which would make it about 14 inches in circumference, and it's about, not quite, it's about 5.5 inches long, which for the child that I'm putting this on, I think is plenty long enough. And that's the end of the beanie. You would fasten this off by cutting your yarn, pulling the yarn through the hook or through the loop and pulling it tight to knot it, and then you would sew in your tails. So that ends up with this beanie, and this is some Red Heart pink camo yarn, which I absolutely love. And see how with the increments I did it, it sort of ended up striping in a really unique, fun pattern. And that is the standard crochet beanie. So practice those and leave me a comment and let me know how your beanies turn out. Thanks for watching.